So here's my predictions for the WWE Royal Rumble 2025, which is going to happen on Sunday, at least for us Indians. And I think now that the match card has been finalized, I don't think another match will be added. So I felt that this is the right date to, announce my predictions. So, not wasting time, let's get into the first match that I want to predict, which is Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. And my prediction is Cody is going to win. Another thing that I'm going to predict is that people are thinking that, Sammy will come because for what happened on Raw, and I think Sammy will come, but they will do a double swerve. They will do a swerve. We will expect that Sammy will come and there the interferences end, but I don't think that is where the interferences end. I think Randy Orton will also be in this match. First, I think Sammy will come out. He will not do anything. He will be like conflicted, which will like cause a distraction to Cody, which will help Kevin. And Sammy is like in two minds. Then, like, what have I done or anything? And then Randy Orton comes out, and then Randy stops Kevin, and he RKO's Kevin or something. But Sammy doesn't do anything because he's still in like two minds. He's still very conflicted. So that way, Cody wins the title. You have a Randy return in this match, and this way you can have Kevin like honestly have a feud with both Randy and Sami Zayn. In my opinion, I will eventually have this lead to a Cody versus Kevin versus Randy match at Elimination Chamber, and this rivalry there. Like they have been together since after WrestleMania. At least Kevin and Randy have been together since after WrestleMania. Cody, Kevin, and Randy have been together since after Clash at the Castle. So this has been like a good 7-8 months of storytelling, storylines, and I think this ends at Elimination Chamber. And there I would actually have Cody pin Randy to win the match. Furthering Kevin Owens' disgust that he can play it in his mind that he didn't really lose, that he lost at Rumble due to Randy and Sammy. He lost at the Elimination Chamber due to Randy being pinned, and then you can have KO go after someone. If Sami Zayn is in an elimination chamber match, like maybe for the world championship, to determine who is going to face for the world championship at WrestleMania, you can have KO attack Sami there. But I think what WWE is probably going to do is they're probably going to do KO versus Sami at Elimination Chamber, and then KO versus Randy at WrestleMania, because Elimination Chamber is in Canada. So you can have KO versus Sami at Elimination Chamber. But the thing that I have booked, it will not make sense for KO to go after Sami first. It will make much more sense for KO to go after Randy, because okay, Sami didn't do anything to help Kevin, but Randy actively caused him the match. I think he will be much more you know pissed off with Randy. But that is what I have predicted. Let's see what happens. Then I think it's very, very perplexing who will Cody face at Elimination Chamber. But then we saw him, teasing something with Damien Priest. So maybe we see a feud with Damien Priest at Elimination Chamber. Like it's a good feud for Cody. Like Damien Priest is just fresh off, winning his feud against Finn Balor. He's on SmackDown, so he doesn't have that Judgment Day baggage anymore, and also that Damon has pinned Carmelo as, and he is an upper mid carder. Like people can hate him, call him an industry plant or something, which I don't think is true. Like that man was Punishment Martinez in ROH. I know. I saw him on television. Like when we had D Sports, like Punishment Martinez was wrestling on television for Ring of Honor. From there, he went on to NXT, then on to the main roster. He became a world champion. he is a Triple H guy, obviously. Like Triple H believes in his ability to be a main eventer, and he can have like a great match with Cody Rhodes. Of course, nobody will believe that Damon Priest can beat Cody, but I think they will have a good feud and a great match. Because if that is the way that they want to go, I would probably have that Cody KO Randy triple threat at Elimination Chamber and end this. But then it is also like depending on the Royal Rumble winner, if there will be a World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber only, that is also circumspect. So that is my prediction for this match. Cody is winning this match. I just hope whatever new belt they make, it is, befitting to be the undisputed WWE Championship, not this, yellow crap that we have right now. The next match is Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. My heart says DIY, but my head says Motor City Machine Guns will win. Because if I am, looking at this from a WWE writer's perspective, like it kind of makes sense for Motor City Machine Guns to win. Like they lost to DIY because DIY turned, they hit a low blow and they won. Motor City Machine Guns, like won like they won like a tournament or like a gauntlet something to challenge for the tag titles, and the match they didn't even lose the match. The match ended in a double disqualification because Pretty Deadly and Los Garzas got involved. They didn't lose that. Then they won two matches to challenge um, DIY for the tag titles. Then the stipulation added is that it is a 2 out of 3 falls match, so that it's not a one fall where they cheat and DIY wins. You have two falls, so like it is done when you want to like give like a defining victory to some team. So from their perspective, I can get that. So if you're booking from their perspective, you would probably have Los Garzas and Pretty Deadly both get involved in the match, and then probably it will look like, oh no, DIY is going to win in the last fall. But then the Street Profits come back, and because of the Street Profits, helping Motor City Machine Guns, maybe DIY doing some bad tactics or something, Motor City Machine Guns win the titles. Then you set up a Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits match, which Motor City Machine Guns can retain the titles because maybe DIY goes off TV for a while, but then they return whenever that Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits tag title match happens, which because of their interference, Motor City Machine Guns can retain the titles. And from there, you set up a triple threat tag team match, Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits versus DIY for the WWE Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania, where Street Profits finally win the title after 4 something years, and they get their moment at WrestleMania. What I personally would book would be DIY winning, and it would be like you will have the same Los Garzas and Pretty Deadly interfere. It's just that Street Profits will interfere, but because of the Street Profits' distraction, both teams get distracted, but Motor City Machine Guns get distracted more. The interference doesn't work in the way that the Street Profits wanted, and DIY win the match, and you can continue the feud further. Maybe you can have the triple threat tag team match a little bit earlier, and then you can have the single tag Motor City Machine Guns. Then then maybe in that triple threat you can have Motor City Machine Guns win those title backs from DIY, and at WrestleMania you can have Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits, where Street Profits get those titles back. Or maybe you can have DIY retain, but do the DIY Street Profits match a little bit like instead of the Motor City versus Street Profits match before a Elimination Chamber, but there MCMG returns, Street Profits lose against DIY, and DIY holds the title till WrestleMania through these means. And finally at WrestleMania in the triple threat tag match, Street Profits defeat DIY and Motor City Machine Guns to win the tag team titles. I think the first one sounds better. I think the second one, I didn't really book it that well, but I will go I think the logical thing is I will go with Motor City Machine Guns winning the match. And all the other things that I have, Street Profits returning and all. Then you have the Women's Rumble. I will predict the number one, number two also. I think number one and number two will be Naomi and Nia Jax, or Nia Jax and Bianca Belair. I will have Nia Jax and Bianca Belair. It kind of makes sense also because Bianca thinks that Nia attacked Jade, and Nia has already declared for the Rumble. She wants to go after both the champions. You can have a nice little dynamic there. I think number 30 entry for me. I think this is something. I think probably someone like a Nikki Bella can make sense. Will you have Charlotte at number 30? No, but because she has already announced that she will be in the Rumble. I think who can be number 30 in the Women's Rumble? I will, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan will be the number 30. I think it makes sense in her heel character also. It can work with the crowd also. You don't need to have her in the final four. I will not have her in the final four. For me, the final four will be Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, and Becky Lynch. And what will happen is Becky and Lyra are going at it, and you have Charlotte eliminate both from the back and eliminating both out of the ring. You have Charlotte and Io at the last. Then you have the face off against each other, and you have Io win the Rumble. Though I am also conflicted here because Io's story can work a little bit more if she still loses the Rumble and then go on to win the Elimination Chamber and go to face Rhea, because Io lost to Liv Morgan, Io lost to Lara Valkyria. Io losing here can like further her story of her, being kind of like the underdog going for the title. But man, Charlotte has already announced for the Rumble. It will be too predictable. Like Charlotte has already announced for the Rumble. She's going to be there. People are already thinking that Charlotte is going to is going to win the thing. But is also that Charlotte winning the Rumble can work for her character also. Her new character is essentially that she is rich, she's a confident veteran in her own ability. She's not that overconfident heel. Even if she's a heel this time, she's a rich, perfectly confident, believing in herself veteran heel. That is the thing. She's not that overconfident Charlotte Flair anymore, who is hiding behind the mask of her, Ric Flair character. So it can, work for her character. You can kind of have Tiffany being the underdog going into, like Charlotte can say, I said, like, I believed in myself and I came back. I told before that I am coming back and I won the Rumble. So who are you? You're my knockoff. You're a Charlotte 2.0. I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. So you can do that as a feud also. Then you can kind of have a double turn. Like Charlotte can be that type of face veteran who is a little bit, looking down upon the, the chicken shit, running away smart as heel, which Tiffany is right now. And then in the match, you can have like Charlotte putting her in a figure eight, but Tiffany refusing to tap, passes out, and then you can have Charlotte kick her a few times after the Mania match, and you do a double turn. Like Charlotte is the full on full heel again, and Tiffany is the full on full face for the first time in her career. Charlotte wins the title. So logically, Charlotte winning makes sense, but will the WWE have Charlotte be the Rumble winner? The thing is, because I want to have my predictions right, this is a predictions video, so I think they will not be too predictable. They will go for Io Sky as the Rumble winner. So for me, Io Sky will win the Royal Rumble. Then to our final match of the evening, which is the men's Royal Rumble. Maybe one of the most anticipated Royal Rumbles in the past few years. I think probably the anticipated Royal Rumble was the one that Brock Lesnar won, because people were not like really excited for it. People were like, who is going to win the Rumble? Because nobody had anyone in mind. But then one of the worst Rumbles happened. For the past 2 years, we wanted it to be Cody. It was Cody in two boring matches. At least in the before the WrestleMania 39 one, at least he had that final sequence with Gunther. But then going for the men's Rumble match, I think my first two entries would be Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. It makes sense with the story that they have going. It will be either Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre or Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins, but I think Sami and Seth would be more compelling because even since the CM Punk stuff has happened, since Drew has come back, Seth and Sami have been kind of on a path like where they have their two distinct ideologies, and there you have the bloodline. You have Seth calling him kind of like a dick rider for Roman and saying that you should go for the world championship yourself. Then you have Sami kind of like being like you're obsessed with CM Punk and everything. So you kind of sound like Drew McIntyre and everything. You can have that dynamic going forward. So I think the best would be Seth Rollins entering the Rumble so that he can you know defeat CM Punk's dream to main event WrestleMania. Sami entering because he wants to become world champion and he wants to be in those top 6 7 guys. I think it works. Sami and Seth would be my number one and number two, and my number 30 would be Drew McIntyre. And I'll tell you why. It makes sense because Drew's character is he says that he wants to go against Roman. He is doing the right thing. But you have seen him many times, going back on his words. Like he defeated Cody by inadvertently by the help of the bloodline. It was not like he after he saw what the bloodline did to Cody, he like stopped the match or like went after them. He took the advantage and he pinned Cody. Like he, like you can say in the tribal combat match, he accused Seth of not interfering. He didn't interfere in the match also. Kevin Owens did. The guy who Drew was calling out that you're a fake champion. So you can say, and also Drew has not really been on his promises. Like he said that he will meet Solo Sikoa after the match. He didn't. He was willing to let his, hatred of Solo Sikoa go just so that he could go against Roman Reigns. And it will make sense because Drew has been saying, I'm only entering the Rumble so that I can stop Roman Reigns. But he enters at 30. His real aim is to win the world title, which he lost in 5 minutes. He can say that he got screwed and all. And the thing is, he is still very ashamed of that. Commentary can play upon that. And you can have Drew in the end. And commentary can also say he was saying all this about Roman, but he comes in the last. If he had come earlier, maybe he could have helped other people, throw Roman out. And I would have Roman throw Drew out. Like you can have some kind of distraction or something, and Roman threw Drew out of the Rumble. And my last four in the Royal Rumble for the men's would be Roman Reigns, CM Punk, John Cena, and Braun Breaker. This will be my last war in the Royal Rumble. You can have Roman being put out by all three of them, or you can have CM Punk eventually threw out Roman Reigns. The thing is, Braun Breaker has to eliminate either Cena or Roman Reigns out of the Rumble, or Jacob Fatu. In my mind, I will have Jacob Fatu eliminate Roman from the Rumble. Not that he's officially in the match. Like Jacob Fatu should be the one with the most eliminations in the match. I think in the women's Rumble, the person with the most eliminations would not be Naya this time. I think it would be Raquel. I think they'll they'll do something to prop up Raquel again, give her some heat back, because I think they're planning to have Liv and Raquel go into Mania as the women's tag team champions. And I think it's the right call also. So I think Raquel will have the most eliminations and Jacob will have the most eliminations in the men's Royal Rumble. Whoever eliminates Jacob, I don't know who does, but I will have like Jacob like return back to the ring and I will eliminate, like take Roman from the like behind his back and threw him out of the Rumble. And I will have Jacob and Roman at Mania. And also even while looking at TV, like Jacob is calling, like they have a merch for Jacob, like it is called Tribal Wolf, right? He's wearing his own Ula Fala, right? So logic would suggest that probably his next targets will be Roman and probably Solo. Like Roman, because he's calling himself the tribal wolf now, kind of makes sense that he's a rabid dog now. He hasn't really gotten an opportunity to go after Roman alone. Like he can go after him as a revenge for Solo, and also that he is unhinged now. There is no Solo there to stop him. If we remember, there have been many times where either one of the Tongans or like Solo have actually stopped Jacob from fighting Roman. Like when they were in the steel cage, Solo pulled him out. So I think it can work, and it logically for me it makes sense. So I'll have Jacob and it has happened before. Like Kane, after being eliminated, has eliminated people. Like he has eliminated CM Punk while after being eliminated from the Rumble. So I will have that. And one thing is, Braun Breaker has to eliminate Cena. He has to. People will be thinking it will be CM Punk and John Cena in the top two. It would be Braun and CM Punk. And you have to, because I think Braun Breaker is the next big thing of the company. Triple H has wrote about it many times that he did a tweet where he said the future and with Braun Breaker's like photo. I think it would be a good spot. Like Braun coming from facing Sheamus, he's clearly the next big thing in the company, giving him like a top three spot, like in a rumble, like which has beaten like that 20-year something year old record of the like 60 plus thousand people. Like many, like most number of people are will be in the stadium. Many people will be watching this at home who don't really watch anything. Like these people only watch like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. What better way to introduce to your future than having someone like a Braun Breaker be there? Him, Intercontinental Champion. You can have, I hope they give him some good feuds going forward before the Rumble. And I mean, he just had a match, so I don't know what they will do at this Raw. It is the go home show, but even then, him getting that final spot, I think it will probably make sense if it is Cena more, like the matchup would, but I don't think Cena winning is the right choice. Cena's story makes sense for him to go through more hardships, as Cena said in his promo that he has not won like a singles match like for a while now, so that will make much more sense for him. Like he said, it's like kind of impossible to him for him to win the WWE Championship, to beat Ric Flair's record. So it would make sense for Cena to, if he goes for a world title, to win the Elimination Chamber to go for the championship. Then I would have CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Give them 5 minutes. Give them 10 minutes. Like have them do like the last 5-10 minutes that Cody and Gunther got in the 2023 Royal Rumble. Give them type of spots, and in the end, what gets Braun Breaker? It is his overconfidence. That's what gets Braun Breaker to lose the match. It has been kind of his bane since coming on the main roster, and they have played it up. Like whenever Braun has actually lost his title, it has it has always been through him being a rookie, being a youngster who has fits of overconfidence, and that's what causes him to lose focus and eventually lose the match, which he did with Sammy, with Jay, and now with CM Punk. And CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. It makes sense, and I would have him go after Gunther. I would have him go after Gunther. I know having CM Punk win, then you cannot have Sammy in like a elimination chip. I know it doesn't make sense, but please, sorry. CM Punk versus Gunther, night one main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship, and we all go home happy. And you have Cody versus Cena at the WrestleMania night 2 main event. That's how I would book Royal Rumble. So please tell me what your predictions are in the comment section below. including whatever things that I have predicted, you predict in the comments. If you like this type of content, like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, share it with those who do. My social media links are in the description. The Twitter and Instagram link is in the description. Do go follow me on that. Go follow me on that. My UPI ID link is in the description also, which is sharpboy@okicici. Please donate any amount which you think fit. So it will help me make YouTube a permanent career option. And so that was it for me today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.